Hey guys, Sam from DMC again here, bringing you another SalesLogix version 8 YouTube video. And today I'm going to be showing you how to modify forms within SalesLogix version 8. Previously, you would have to modify all of your forms in the application architect, and if you weren't sure what you were doing, you'd have to pay for a business partner to do something as simple as adding a new field into the database for you, which really, when you look at other CRM systems as well, they've been offering that kind of functionality for years. So it was about time that Sage got their act together and added this functionality into version 8. And boy, have they added the functionality. You can now add as many forms as you like into SalesLogix version 8 via use of the form manager. So, as you'd expect, it's an administrative action, so only administrators can actually add these forms on. And it comes back with quite a few different features. So it's not just a form manager where you can add new fields on. You can also add translations to the database. So if you're a multinational company, you've got lots of different offices all over the world, you can easily change your translations in SalesLogix Web into French, German, Spanish, any language that uses either different characters, Unicode characters, or just any kind of different languages. You can add all of that now into your database and provide translations for everything. So I'm going to show you the first way of adding new fields into the web, or getting into the screen to add new fields into the web, by clicking on Administration and scroll down the list, and we'll see here Form Manager. Again, nice and quick in version 8. We'll look at, for instance, in this case, the account details form. And the screen that pops up from here is a screen that some of you will be familiar with. You may have seen it before in the application architect, and some of you have never been in the application architect, so this will all be brand new to you. I'll come back to it in a second, but one of the cool things I want to show you first, some of you will not be sure what form it is that you actually want to modify. You know where it is in SalesLogix, but you don't know the name of that form. Well, that's not a problem. All you need to do is access the form that you want to be able to manage. Click on this one here. And if we look up here, we'll see Edit Form. Click that, and that will take you to the Form Manager window within the administrator already loaded with the form that you've just asked to modify. So in this case, it's the contact details form, and we can see here the screens we're familiar with: do not solicit, do not email, do not call, yada yada yada. Now, it is very, very easy now to add new forms and new columns, for instance, into every single form that you feel you would need to. So let's say we didn't want to add a new field in here, we wanted to add it on a brand new line. Well, that's nice and easy. Simply right click, and insert row below, and what we'll see is a new row has gone underneath, and from there we can look down the right hand side, we can look at all of the contact fields down the right, and we can add the field that we're interested in adding. Now in this case, always a good surefire one to add onto this form is create date. So we'll grab that and we'll drag it over onto this screen. And we'll also show you how to drag forms around the screen as well. So for instance, I could move contact status here. So here we have create date now added to this form. If we then save that and look back at the contact detail form, what we should see is the new create date field added down here. And it's as easy as that. That is how you add new forms into this window. Let's head back into the form designer and I'll show you some of the cool things we can do with the fields. So we'll go back down to our create date field. If I feel that way inclined, I can change the caption. Now that will change the caption that you see to the left of create date. So if you think of a better name, some of the fields aren't well named within here, and you may just want to go through and just change some of those names. But it's very, very easy to do that now in version 8. We've also got the display date, so this is obviously a date time field. So we can also display time on this field, so that will actually display the date and the time that particular contact was created, and that's just a case of ticking a box. In this case, we're not really interested in the time. All we want to see really is the date, but the option is there if you so choose to have it. And also whether this field is read-only. Now it should be a read-only field anyway, but we'll just tick it just to make sure, because no one should really be able to modify the create date. It is the contact's create date. It never changes. It's when the contact was created. So there should be no need to ever change that field. If we then go into advanced, we can say whether it's an enabled field and whether the field is a required entry, and also whether it's visible. Now a small point to note here, you cannot delete fields off this screen. Once you've added them on, there is no way of removing them. You have to, well there is, you have to do it within the application architect, which is a long and laborious process, best handled by a business partner. I may bring out a video in the future just showing you basics within the application architect, but for the time being, just be happy with the fact that you cannot delete forms within the SalesLogix version 8 web form manager. But you can make them invisible. So you can click on one that you don't want to see anymore, click on advanced, make it invisible, and that will then disappear off that screen. Okay. We also have the layout, whereabouts we want this particular field to appear. So we've got position, it's on row 5, we could change that to row 2 and make it appear further up the page. It's basically, it's quite similar to like a HTML table. You're essentially working with columns and rows. Okay. We also have, at the very top, culture. Now, at present, we're looking at the invariant culture, which is kind of like the standard culture for the form manager. Now, let's say, as I said earlier on, we're in a multinational database and we wanted to add French translations in. We'd switch into French-FR, and we can see here we've got the various field labels all in French. Now here's something cool in version 8. I'm going to open up Internet Explorer now and show you what you can actually do with version 8 based off browser cultures. So if I go into Tools, Internet Options, Languages, and add French, to Internet Explorer, and remove English, doesn't look like a great deal will have changed. However, if we then browse to the SalesLogix site, see there, it's now already all in French. Admin, log in, and you can see here down the left hand side, all along the top, everything has now been translated into French. It goes without saying that if people have typed in data into certain account fields, and if a French person is looking at, for instance, an English account, it's not clever enough to automatically translate any notes or history items that English people add into French. It won't be that clever, but it will change the text and the text for all of the standard SalesLogix forms within the SLX application. So obviously, with translations, within the form manager, we can then modify those translations if, for instance, Sage have maybe got a word a little bit wrong, or let's say you added a brand new field to the database. You can then specify how you want that field translating into each one of those languages of the people that use your database. It's an absolutely fantastic leap forward. Previously, it could have been a bit of a pain to get all languages installed in 7.5.4. Version 8 makes it really, really easy. So for you guys that have an international, international databases, fantastically useful. Okay, so we've come to the end of the video now. If you've liked what you've seen in these past episodes, then by all means press subscribe and like. Similarly, if you've got any comments or just want to say that you like them, or if you have any small criticism or feedback, by all means drop a comment in the box below. We're really keen to hear your feedback on these vids. So nothing else to say. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.